That'd probably put me off a bit. I like to keep it moving.
Well, in that case, you want to play Metroid Fusion, because that always tells you, or Other M, because they always tell you where to go, what to do. And speaking of where to go, what to do, I never remember exactly where to go. Oh wait, yeah, I do.
So is this more of like a free roam aspect?
Kind of, yeah.
But with objectives.
With one overarching objective, I guess. Yeah, god damn it. Try one more back up because I just remembered I need to go to the map room because, yeah, I've played this game plenty of times, but that doesn't mean I remember the game exactly. I think it's that door anyway. Yeah, it's that door. 5 missiles, open the door. Here's another thing, once you open a door with missiles or super missiles or power bombs or anything, it is permanently open so you can just use the beam at a later time.
Yeah,
so
alright.
you don't need to constantly find yourself shooting doors down with missiles. But that is a pretty overkill way to open a door.
Yeah.
We have to do, if it's a red door, you have to pump it full of missiles. Yeah. Why? Because Samus. Anyway, map room. First time players, these rooms are like essential because they give you an entire overview of the area. So yeah, now we know. So the first thing we actually need to do, first thing we need to get, I guess, is the charge beam, which is here in Brinstar. That's what this area is called, Brinstar. 5 areas of the game, I think. There's Brinstar, Norfair, Meridia, the Wreck Ship, and Torian. And if you want to count Kraid's Lair and Ridley's Lair as separate areas, then go right ahead. Yeah, sometimes you'll get the doors that are grayed out that you have to kill every enemy in the room to access, or you need to kill a certain boss to get through them. But now we've done that, we can head straight down, pump another door full of missiles, and advance. Now, this room is particularly fun when you get the speed booster upgrade after we defeat Kraid.
See, I would think of these questions like, who put those doors there?
Yeah, that's a good point. Who puts doors this far underground? Well, I guess the Chozo could have done it.
This is when I'm playing any game, I always look at it in a weird way. Like,
You
I'm
question
going
it
through
with
this
logic.
door, like in Mario and stuff. When you're going down those pipes, who put them there? Why are they there?
Who put the pipes in the Mushroom Kingdom, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Who
question.
invented that technology?
Well, if you look at New Super Mario 3D World, we just announced at E3 that the pipes are clear. If you ever wonder why he got through them, he literally flies through them. Anyway, you may have noticed these blocks appear. What we're meant to do is use the grapple beam to grapple across to a missile expansion over here. However, I'm not the best at it, but I have done it in every single playthrough that I've played this game. The wall jump is one of the most overpowered things ever. So you can get the missile early.
So you're not supposed to be able to
Not
get
supposed
that
to be able
yet.
to do that. But with the power of the wall jump, which is the most overpowered thing in the game, we can get...
Imagine if people could actually jump up walls like that. Jump outwards from a wall. It's like when you're playing Assassin's Creed and you can jump outwards onto a ledge above you.
Yeah.
That could not happen.
Oh yeah, like if it's above you, but it's
yeah,
like behind
it's like
you.
above you
You like
and like,
jump
yeah.
behind, and that's a very good point.
It's ridiculous.
These guys are very good for farming health and missiles. Because they infinitely respawn and they go down in one shot of whatever weapon you're using. Hey, down here there's another missile tank. I did tell you there'd be plenty of these. Missile. Select missile and press the
Who put the
Y
missile
button.
tank there?
Chozo. Another Chozo put the weapons and stuff everywhere.
Who are the Chozo?
The Chozo. Oh, I told you earlier. The Chozo are basically the beings that race.
Oh, the ones
bird
that we just
things.
killed.
The bird things, yeah.
And why would they benefit from putting doors and weapons down here?
To help Samus.
But why did they try and just kill you?
Well, at this point, those aren't actually alive. They're just statues there as defense mechanisms. So
right.
basically, like, if anyone else comes along and tries to take the charge beam or the morph ball bombs, and it's not Samus, they won't stand a chance against the Chozo statue. However, I guess it's kind of like a test your might kind of a thing.
Oh, so it's more like a sort of
more like a
AI
test.
kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. At this point, I think the Chozo are extinct. I think they are. Anyway, we got the charge beam. I think the Chozo are.
See, then how did they
at this
become
point.
extinct?
I can't remember. I think it's because of the Mother Brain and the Space Pirates, but I honestly don't know. I've never read that much into it. But with the charge beam, obviously we get to charge the beam.
It's like, is there a lot of backstory with Metroid?
There is quite a fair amount of backstory. Like, there's an entire manga series on it. And
I've always wanted to get into manga. I've never done it.
same.
I've
Same.
never
I've
tried.
always wanted to try like the Pokemon manga and especially the Metroid manga. But,
Because manga is, I mean, the artwork's so,
mm,
you know, it's so good, the artwork. I just
I
really
know.
want to get into
Yeah.
And there's like, and once you're into it, there's like 20 billion different like
Manga series.
and they last forever apparently.
Yeah.
So what does our friend Jamie, he reads
Bleach.
Bleach.
Yeah, it's manga.
Yeah, but he spent like hundreds of pounds but the cool books.
Yeah. But yeah, I normally I wouldn't go for that save room that I just went for, but because the recording curse is probably gonna fuck me over, I'm just gonna save just in case. Because knowing me, I have some really bad luck with the first boss, Spore Spawn here. I always have some like insanely bad luck. Oh, I found that off. Bugger, let's go. Also, when we have the charge beam, we can also do the pseudo screw attack. Basically, well, the screw attack is basically the most powerful move in the game, essentially. When you do a spin jump, you basically become invincible, you can kill things with it. But when we've got the charge beam, while charging it, you can do a spin jump, and the charge keeps going, so you can kill enemies with the spin jump. And I think the power is equivalent to that of a charge shot. So, it's a pretty handy move for defeating mooks on the fly.
So this kind of reminds me, again, of thinking too logically, of, you know, in Skyrim, when you're underground and there's just random people down there. Like, not the Dragors or whatever they're called. There's just random wizards underground.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why are these things underground?
I don't know. Well, these creatures are like alien creatures, so these things kind of make sense to be here.
Yeah, I suppose.
And Kraid's lair, I don't know. They just Ridley makes sense being really deep underground, so no one can find him. But the first boss, who always fucks me over with his placement, you can crouch down here in the mothball, and he'll never touch you, unless he opens his mouth, I guess, like as soon as he's hovering over you, which he always does. I've never seen it happen to anyone else. Watching other playthroughs, he never like.
Oh, you just got to shoot that middle bit.
Yeah, you got to shoot him when he opens. That's the only way you can deal damage. You can shoot more than one, but I tend to just do one at a time because otherwise
that is a running trait with every boss, really, in any game, is that it's invulnerable.
Unless it
and then it'll expose itself for like a short amount of time.
Again, every playthrough I have ever watched of this game, it has never opened its mouth there. Ever.
Is it random or does it track you?
It's random. Because you're not meant to, you're meant to just sort of like run around the area and just try to avoid it, but everyone just sort of crouches down here with the mothball because him or the spores will never touch you. The spores are those little tiny things you see flying around. I thought this guy is called the Spore Spawn, so it's a bit of a mouthful, but... And if you do end up running low on energy or missiles, you can shoot the spores and they'll drop power-ups for you, I guess. He's done it again! Come on! Really?
Why?
All the time. Cocaine, not even once. I guess it's just my bad. I guess it's just like the game world having a go at me for not playing this game as a kid, like when I was like genuinely young when it came out. But
came out in '94, didn't it?
Yeah, '94, and I first played it in 2010. Yep. Yeah, as you kill. What now? Although you don't get health bars in the Metroid series, the enemy's health is basically determined by what color it is, and it'll turn a more putrid, dead color as you do more damage to it. So it started to go a bit moldy.
Bits of moldy green and yellow.
In Spore Spawn and Bottoon's case, which will basically both the mini bosses, all the mini bosses actually, apart from Crocomire, they get faster as well as you defeat them.
So was this game fairly revolutionary for its time, or had it sort of just taken?
It's revolutionary for the Metroid series. For gaming in general, I wouldn't say so.
I was gonna say it's not.
I don't know though.
Even for '94, it's not that.
I wasn't. Well, it's pretty damn good for '94, but it's coming towards the end of the 16-bit era. I mean, the 16-bit era ended in '96 with the release of the Nintendo 64 and yeah. So, would you consider it revolutionary for its time?
I'd say no. Up until '96, you couldn't really.
I guess the best people to ask about that kind of thing are the people who actually played it around that time. Anyway, very subtle Mario reference. We go down a green pipe.
Woo.
Very, very subtle Mario reference. So this is how it gets around the pipes. Anyway, by defeating the Spore Spawn, we get the Super Missile, which is basically 5 missiles in one. So its name makes sense, I guess.
Quality is not quantity. You
You
don't need more missiles to do more damage.
Yes, you do.
You just need to place them well. So I was playing Combat Evolved, killed 4 hunters with 4 shots with a Magnum.
Is that even possible?
Yep, they've got a weak spot on the back. 1 shot per hunter.
Wow. I think you should say you're better at Halo than I am then. Like, one thing I was saying to you earlier is, you're probably looking at this game and thinking, how do people know what to do?
I was thinking that, because how do you know where there's a wall?
Exactly. Well, I mean, there's 2 things. A, experimenting and playing the game over and over. And just, like...
The magical Google.
And, well, in 94 it wasn't around. So you had to resort to,
the magical encyclopedia.
You had to, like... You had to resort to, like, Nintendo Power or whatever was around.
The magical...
Or someone who played the game more.
Messenger pigeon.
Messenger pigeon.
Or buy a game guide or something.
Yeah. Anyway, by wall jumping, we can get this missile expansion early.
Ooh.
That's the first time I've ever done that first time.
What, jump up there?
Jump up. Normally it takes me about 3 or 4 attempts to get up there. That's the first time I've ever done it first time.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. My brother, you get plenty of missile expansions and expansions for other weapons and such. But we don't get another expansion for the super missile until, well, until I'm gonna guess. Cause I mean, we're doing this live. I'm gonna guess until about another part at least. And just so we'll take a break when it gets to about 45 minutes because that's when it starts to skip frames and get annoying. This is the noob bridge, called that because, well, you think about it. You see Samus running like that, and you'd think, yeah, that's a full running speed. But no, there's a run button which you need to use to get across this bridge, otherwise you fall through. And the reason it's called the noob bridge is because people
I'm guessing noobs fall through.
Noobs fall through because they don't know there's a run button. But you can understand that because you wouldn't expect them to be a run button because Samus's top speed here is running speed.
Exactly.
And then you press that and even faster. So you wouldn't expect that. And they do remove it in subsequent games. So yeah, I don't know.
So when was the last Metroid game released?
You mean like most recent one?
Yeah, most recent.
Well, as of this recording, which is 2013, it's
July 2013.
The most recent game was Metroid Other M, which was released on the Wii in 2010.
And is that just taken from the older styles, or is it genuinely trying to look like a new game?
It is. It's new for the Metroid series because there's been 2 types of games throughout Metroid's career, I guess. There's been the I should appear. There's another upgrade we can get up here. There's been the 2D ones like this, which have been the original Metroid, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Zero Mission. Those have been the 2D ones like this. And there's been the 3D ones, which have been the first-person ones, which are the Metroid Prime series and Metroid Prime Hunters. We've got the Spacer Beam, which lets us basically expands the width of the beam to make it easier to shoot enemies. That's what I was saying. And Spacer. Called the Wide Beam in future installments. So the name makes a lot more sense. But as I was saying, and Metroid Other M, it's kind of like a mix. Because it's third-person 3D.
Ah.
But it also has elements from the Prime series, like if you aim the Wii Remote at the screen. I mean, I might get to that game eventually.
And is it like a direct continuation from...
It is, well...
was this the last 16-bit game released?
This was the only 16-bit game
Oh,
release.
right.
The Metroid chronology is kind of confusing unless you know. Basically, in chronological order it goes like this. Metroid 1/Zero Mission, because Zero Mission is a remake. There's a hole up here somewhere. Because Metroid Zero Mission is a remake of the first game. So it's Metroid Zero Mission or Metroid 1. Mm-hmm. Then the Metroid Prime series, so Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. Then it's Metroid 2. Then Super Metroid. Then Other M. And then Fusion is last. So Other M slots between Fusion and Super Metroid in terms of chronology.
I wish games would just go in order.
Yeah, well, Metroid
annoys me about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is also, you can say there's more main series, because there's, I mean,
well, are any of them side games, or are they all sort of main stories kind of thing? If you know what I mean?
They all slot into one canonical story.
Yeah, so none of them are like, well, this was going on, this other character did this.
No, we're
trying to make more money.
The only character we ever take control of, as far as I know, is Samus. We never control anyone else in the main Metroid series. I don't know about any other spin-offs apart from, well, they're not really spin-offs because you're still playing as Samus, but we never play as anyone else apart from Samus. So, I don't know, you'll have to ask a much bigger Metroid fan than me that.
or somebody could put it in the comment section.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Any viewers we have, tell us.
Are all Metroid games, are you playing as
Canonical.
Samus, and can you play as anyone else in any Metroid, even if it's not a Metroid game? I suppose, does Samus feature in any other games?
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers, yeah.
And she makes a cameo in one of the Legend of Zelda games, but I can't remember which one. Anyway, we just got the high jump boots, which are pretty self-explanatory. They allow us to jump high.
In
Which
Roots.
will allow us to get into Kraid's lair, which I didn't show off. What you meant to do is you meant to find the room with the super missile, which I've never noticed. I just kept on going into Norfair, which is where we are now. Which lives up to its name. Norfair is no fair. But we got the high jump boots, so now we can go to Kraid's lair. Basically, what you meant to do is you meant to find Kraid's lair among your journeys, and you meant to think, I can't jump that high. Maybe I should go explore somewhere else. Go into Norfair, find out you can't go into the superheated areas because you don't have the Varia suit, which protects you from heat. And then you find the high jump boots, and you think, oh yeah, now I can get to that one place I couldn't get to earlier. That's kind of a trend throughout the entire game, is you find somewhere, can't quite do it, go to the next area and get another power-up, and you can do it.
That's a good analogy, is Pokemon. You get those, like, on the newer Pokemon, well, not newer, I say newer, they came out in like 2004. Pokemon games where you get, like mudslides, you need a bike with certain tyres to go up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need running boots to get through there. You need rock smash to get through that cave.
It is essentially like, that's a very good way of putting it.
So now could you, if you wanted, go back to where we were and jump up and get that thing?
That is what I'm going. Next time we find ourselves going through Brinstar, which I've basically got on a route in my head. Next time we find ourselves going through Brinstar, I am going to get that energy tank.